Hi guys! Jake and Marisa back again for more live reactions to Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel. And hello to the chat again. Marisa is typing...
I'll get there.
Get there.
Someone get a clear picture of this guy.
What?
Don't mind that. I
Okay.
just muted it.
Good. Yep, so trying to do things live and on a timetable makes things a little bit delicate timing-wise. So Marissa's wrapping up a quick thing. I'm saying hello to you chat people. So hello to Caleb, They Games, or The A Games, not sure which it is. Gokai Orange, Savage, Athena, Omega Rez. So we've got quite a few people. We got people are filtering in right now. So as far as things with power reviews at the moment, still working on uploading episode 85. It's okay, so it is The A Games and not The A Games. Hello to Dyrano and Jeremy Strickland. Unfortunately, after I'm on my 12th upload now, it takes a little bit of time to edit and then re-export and re-upload. So each time that I make another attempt, it takes 3 or 4 hours. So no news yet on the 12th attempt, or yeah, I'm on the 12th attempt now. But hopefully that one goes well. I just kind of keep doing little edits as they come up, and hopefully, eventually, that will make enough of a difference. I'm at least not getting claimed on the same clip anymore. They've started claiming different clips within the video, which I wish they had mentioned in the first claim, but whatever. But anyway, beyond that, as far as other power reviews things, I just did a bunch of filming this morning with one of my actors, who is unfortunately moving out of town, but we managed to get pretty much everything for them for year 3 outside of basically the finale. I have not written everything in year 3 as of yet, but I wrote enough of what their characters had to do.
You did the same thing to poor Tom for T Omega back in the day.
Yeah, where we filmed the year 2 finale fight with him before I had written the rest of the year 2 finale. It was within a week or 2 of Legendary Battle airing, and we started filming that Thanksgiving, which was pretty crazy. And yes, that is a fantastic Hello Kitty shirt. It actually
Excuse me, it's Hello Inigo.
Yeah, you can't quite see it from there. There you go. Hello Inigo. You might be able to see it over there. There it is. Yes, yeah, so like I said, the current episode is still blocked, but I'm hoping that
I scampered over here really quick without my drink.
one of my latest attempts may actually do the trick. Hopefully, we'll see.
Where'd you put this? No, I'm just going to have to cross in front of you.
Yeah, right there. That's where I was about to put it down. So, outside of that, in more general Power Rangers news, things have actually sort of calmed down a little bit, because it's no longer having all the crazy anniversary stuff going on. Just little bits of news here and there. As we mentioned last time, Heroes of the Grid was entering the last stages of its Kickstarter. I believe we mentioned that in our Lupin Ranger Power Ranger live reaction. And they had obviously already blown away almost all their goals. They actually hit every single one of their stretch goals, and ended up being over 700% funded, which is kind of insane. And I think a number of people in the chat have backed it. We, at the last minute, decided to back it as well, along with a few friends of ours. So, at some point, we're definitely going to be having some sort of game night somewhere. Either I believe I've already been enlisted to play an inaugural game with Dave, who plays Guy. He went all out on his contribution, so he's going to have a great set to play with, and then Pocky as well. Liz from the Toku Ladies podcast, who happens to live very close to us, but for some reason we just never seem to hang out outside of like running into each other at Power Morphicon. We only seem to see each other when we're on the other side of the country. It's very strange. No, you're not late at all, Mr. Megazord. We're actually just doing our we're just doing our sort of recap of the week before we dive into the episode, giving people a chance to kind of filter in. Who am I getting the strikes from? I'm getting it from Toei and the Saban's Power Rangers account, which I assume is controlled by Hasbro now. Which, they would be the people to claim it.
Episode 11?
You don't want episode 11? Wait, did I mark something as episode 11 instead of 12? What'd I do? I'm gonna ignore that for the moment and continue on as if nothing happened. So I think, are you ready?
Yeah.
I know you had to wrap up some stuff. There's a remote to your left, I believe, that I will need for this. There we go. This is not the remote I need. This is the remote I need for this. Although, actually, correction. No, I do want to make sure the volume is on. Alright. So, I say let's kick things off with episode 12 of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel, Fan Frenzy. Galvanax, there. Earth's greatest ninja, named Dane Romero, because that is a very ninja. So yes, our usual opening recap. There we go. Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel.
This'll be a piece of cake.
Nice shot, Levi.
That was actually a pretty nice shot.
Levi Weston.
There we go.
I'm Simone Swift of Swift Marketing. How would you like to be the face of the Double Danger Chili Burger?
Should she be going through his agent?
Radio, billboards, nationwide.
I don't think that Tom exists anymore, baby.
On school and
Poor
stuff
Tom.
right now.
That's a shame.
He probably quit after, it's like, okay, in the last, 2 weeks,
It's me, Chance.
we have 2 random guest characters.
Have we met? Well, no, not in person. But a year ago, I wrote to you about how much I like your song, Find Answers.
Okay. It's a
I
little,
would sail
it's a little
across
weird.
the ocean,
Oh,
climb over the mountains.
this is going to be
hearing
a lot
that
of
song
cringe,
always
isn't it?
calms me down when my mom's on my back or when stuff goes wrong
Oh,
at
that's
school.
nice.
Oh, and you wrote me this. See?
Oh.
Thanks for your letter, Chaz. Let's hang out sometime. Your friend.
Oh.
Levi
He was not expecting him to actually hang out with him.
Well, don't you remember?
No, he
I
did
think my
not.
manager wrote that.
Oh.
But
Hey, he's acknowledging that he still has.
Same thing.
He's acknowledging his
It'd be
manager.
great to hang out sometime.
I don't know if he still has his manager or not. Alright, there we go. So he's like, yeah, let's hang out. I'm just a normal high school person at the moment, for reasons. But yeah, when you get kidnapped and then your client goes to perform and the entire stadium collapses. Wow. Cosmo is a werewolf.
Is that new or just now being revealed?
I think that... Oh, okay, so apparently his claw...
Makes people into werewolves. Okay.
Apparently he really, really wanted to eat that rubber T-bone steak. Oh no. Red Wolf.
Power Rangers, Ninja Steel.
Evil with all our might together, Ninja Steel. Never give up without a fight together, Ninja Steel. Power Rangers, fear no danger. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go. Stand up for what is right together, Ninja Steel. Spin. Out all day and night together, Ninja Steel. No, the other one. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, Ninja Steel. Go, go, Power Rangers, Ninja Steel. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, Ninja Steel.
Don't worry, I'll get someone else to model in the burger campaign.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We are following this burger woman. Oh, that's why. Really? Really?
Well, he does look like he's really enjoying that burger.
He looks like he's enjoying that burger a little too much.
Is something that you would have, you know, like a, you'd like your burger spokesman to look like he enjoys the burgers.
Let's go talk.
Okay, I love that he didn't even need a pitch outside of, I want to make you famous. He doesn't care what he's going to be doing.
No, he doesn't. Oh,
yeah, they catch up in the tree. They're being very cute. Oh, here comes Ellie.
Needs cans of oil, rags, filters. Cool. Yeah.
A little bit of
hardware
shopping.
store's just around the corner. Are you sure you don't need a hand? No. Hardware stores are my happy place.
Aww.
I'll be back soon. Sorry? Oh, I hope they're having a sale.
Mick is being adorable, and Calvin totally did not notice that buzz cam. Oh, is he noticing? There he goes. He sees it now.
Guys, there's buzz cam activity in town. We'll be right there, Calvin.
There we go.
Come on, guys, you better hurry.
Is Chaz gonna get in the way?
Me again. Can I grab a quick selfie with you and your famous burger camera? I really want to show my friends the
Yeah.
event.
Say yes. Just do the photo.
But I'm kind of in a hurry.
Alright, there you go.
Cheese. Cool.
Nice
Fine,
picture.
come on. Let me give you my email address. You can send it to me.
Oh, well, he said he was in a hurry.
Cal, anything yet? No, just the bus cam.
Okay, let's call
I'm
it
wondering if this guy goes to their school or what. Like, he's got a backpack and he's walking around the school.
I'm Drywolf, and you six are dead. Sorry, pal. You're going on a diet.
Enough.
Morphin' time.
A no ranger diet. Oh, getting that little Mighty Morphin variation.
Yeah, we
I
had a almost broken skull chord earlier.
Yeah, I know we've been getting that quite a bit. I do like this new instrumental Mighty Morphin-esque music for the morph. It's a shame that it's as short as it is, but I do like it. It's a good variation on it. A little stronger than the actual themes themselves.
Hey, Furface, you're a very bad dog. I'm not a dog. I'm a wolf.
Whoosh.
Let's test how strong you are. Full moon. Energy blast.
Full moon. Whoosh. Is Levi gonna get turned into a werewolf?
That's the best you got. Not even close. Hey, let go of me.
Hey, Mick. Mick was in his happy place.
Monsters.
If only I still had my morpher that I don't have anymore for some reason. We won't talk.
Ranger, it's settled. I choose you.
3 claws. Oh, I see.
Going at him in slow motion, so we'll see if any of them actually land.
Well, he's got a better chance having
I find it weird that the
thrown 3.
claws, he actually picks them, he actually throws them, as opposed to like launching them from his fingertips. I assumed they were just like, they manifested from his fingertips, but no, they're actually just separate little things in the palm of his hand that he throws. Kind of amusing.
You can't miss I Am Frankie, the brand new season. Weeknights at 8 starting Monday.
She is Frankie, he is Frankie, this is Ollie. Oliver's liking the attention.
Can you unlock the secret?
So,
Wait.
what? The Shopkins?
Shopkins have now made tiny things.
Yes.
What secrets will you find inside?
They're like Polly Pocket things.
Polly Pocket is back, only Polly Pocket is big now, so Shopkins are the size of Polly Pocket?
There's so many secrets to discover.
I guess so.
But Polly Pocket can't be the size of Polly Pocket because she's a choking hazard?
Sure. I
Jurassic World,
don't
Fallen Kingdom. Become Velociraptor Blue. Claw
Okay.
into adventure.
So,
Roar to life with cool raptor
apparently,
sounds.
I'm only catching little bits and pieces from the chat, but apparently somebody has been writing a fanfic that involves a someone who is a friend of Database. That's cool. So what is this?
My name is Courtney, and I'm a middle school
There's a guy
intensive reading
named
teacher.
Trixley
I'm a
who's
teacher.
a friend of
I
Database.
decided to start getting serious when
During
Emily
Countdown
was
to
2 years
Destruction
old
and
about her education, and
a bunch of other
that's when I
Rangers
introduced
all
ABC
working together.
Mouse into our routine.
Oh, that's cool.
I totally trust ABC Mouse, especially
Alright.
as a teacher. It has math, science, social studies, reading. ABC Mouse is an expert in education.
I will say that
It
Database,
breaks it down like an educator would.
the details of what Database is we will go into further details as the show goes on about exactly the nature of Database. So
it's been a significant because it helped me.
It's a little bit more complicated than him being from a different planet kind of thing. But I appreciate that that apparently he's getting included in a fanfic. That makes me happy.
Fair enough.
If anyone is ever looking to do material involving Database Ranger, feel free to let me know. Like, if you guys want to do, fan works of our fan work, that is cool. And I'm always happy to, let you know if anything is gonna mess with any of the canon. If you're trying to mess up, if you're trying to match up with our canon. So it looks like Levi's fan is not too pleased with Levi running off.
Sorry, but you got another right.
Although not that the fan is being particularly understanding of Levi having a life outside of him. Whoosh whoosh. Okay, so we dodged 2 and 3. Okay, and whoop 2. Oh.
Mick.
Now Mick is going to.
That's where we get evil Mick.
So is he not going to actually turn into a werewolf and just be?
Yay, Gemma.
He's gone. All good, Levi?
Nice.
Never better.
Well,
Good job.
Oh, I'm watching RPM. Good, as you should.
You look hurt. Did the monsters get you? Are you okay?
So
you
how are
might
we
have
playing
some
this?
partial immunity.
I am. Okie dokie.
Because he's a shapeshifter.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I thought you were hurt for a minute there. Let's get out of here.
But
Let's
not
see what
complete
happens.
immunity, so
Yeah.
he's still gonna get taken
That-
over by
that was
the wolf brain.
Oh, yeah, good point.
That was an interesting little twist, though. I assumed it was about to hit Levi, but they actually diverted that over to.
Yeah, I thought one of them was gonna hit Levi. I figured he'd divert 2 and get hit by the 3rd.
Looks just
Yeah.
like
But
yours.
oh dear.
Yeah, you're being a little bit weird there.
Looking in a mirror.
Okay, he's gotten a little bit single white female now.
Man,
Yeah, a little bit.
that guy's starting to annoy me. You
Well,
just a fan, bro.
Well, he's he was already dressed like him before, just without the hat.
Do you really think he was okay after that monster attack?
Well, he said he was fine.
Well, there he is now.
Hey, Cal, that engine we ordered came in.
Oh no, he has gone werewolf, hasn't he? Really?
It's just a valve. Not that scary.
No, make your face.
That's
Okay.
I don't think anyone saw. Well, what's going on? Levi,
Oh, before I was gonna say, who are they hiding him from? Oh, he's still there. Oh, and a whole bunch of students in the background that I didn't notice before.
Maybe you'd come with me and sign some stuff for them? You what?
Wait.
Did I say I was gonna do that?
No.
Well, not exactly, but you said you wanted to hang out, right? So,
Yeah.
how about it?
Chaz.
We're not friends. Heck, we don't even know each other. And I'm not going to Metro Plaza with you. So just give me some space, okay?
Yeah, he's being a little bit.
He's coming on too hard.
He's coming on too strong. He's being a little awkward.
Troll and a Yeti.
AI man.
This must have something to do with the attack
8.
from Dreadwolf.
Okay, so it's not Almond, it's AI man.
You're just a little
Oh,
flirty.
okay.
I suppose it could be worse.
Whoa!
I'm sorry, Red Light. I don't know what came over me.
Okay,
What
so he's
came over you
getting
is werewolf.
For a moment there, but I am fine now.
No, you're not.
No. Yeah, no, he's doing some little bits of howls there.
He's turning into a werewolf.
The scanner's picking up something strange. Whatever it is, it's stuck in his head.
There we go.
Your mic like this.
You wanna?
You wanna?
There, yeah, remove it. There we go.
A claw.
Yep.
And it's dissolving. Because, heaven forbid, they get to analyze a part of the monster.
Yeah. Woo. Okay, so.
A mix between a troll and a yeti. Subtle.
Yeah.
What?
That took a moment to hit, but yeah, no, I get it now. That's great.
That monster's close.
Although technically, Phineas was a troll.
Troblin, which was a mix between a troll and a goblin.
That monster was aiming at you.
So, it works on multiple levels.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
He must want to turn the Power Rangers into werewolves.
So no, it is out. He
No!
wants to turn the Power Rangers into werewolves.
Feed the flames of hunger with a double danger chili burger.
This is going to be so embarrassing for him, whatever she's going to make him do.
Well, of course I am, Monty. Burgers and videos of me are my 2 favorite things. Well, let's rehearse one more time.
I definitely believe
Flames
that
of hunger with a
that
double
videos of
danger
you
chili burger.
and burgers would be 2 of your favorite things.
I'm sorry, but Levi's not coming.
Yeah.
I told you Levi wasn't coming.
Typical Chaz. I bet you don't even know him.
No, I do. I swear.
Guys, do you all go to this school? Oh, there we
Some
go.
sort of inside-out, backwards.
Oh, this is actually tying into things because
Yeah,
he
because
thinks
he's
that
going to turn him into a werewolf.
he thinks that it's Levi.
Did that look a little like Monty was proposing? I mean, he wasn't, clearly, but they blocked it.
Yeah, I know. Whoop, and it missed him and it hit. Oh, okay.
Let's get you out of here. We've got to get to your big shoot.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
not
but Vita was a really cool visionary. Still looking for a real publisher.
Yeah. Okay, no, he did get him this time.
Welcome to the team, Gold Ranger. Next Saturday, get your head
I like that. That's. Ooh.
in the game.
You're Alex Morgan. It's okay, you're just hallucinating. Rise and shine. It's 6 a.m.
Okay, apparently there's this, I guess, a made-for-TV movie or something where she gets a soccer star as her personal hallucination.
Maybe I could be a champion too.
Soccer superstar Alex Morgan in Alex and Me.
Who is played by an actual soccer player.
Saturday at 8.
Yeah.
Only on Nick.
Right. So let's see here.
Excuse me.
What's up? Oh, referring to alphabet soup.
It's held for review.
Right. Oh, he was trying to correct what he had said before. No, that's fine. What he said before was
Bottom line is, moms love that
So,
premium
yeah,
meats have
it was held for review, but I let it through.
Yeah, it was a. He was clarifying something he said.
Lando Frost Premium, a
Alright.
slice above.
Jurassic World.
Slice of
Fallen Kingdom.
So let's see.
Velociraptor Blue. Claw.
What do we get? Carlos into a vampire, being into a vampire, and ninjas into werewolves.
You can be a T-Rex too. Masks sold separately.
Yeah, we haven't had I mean, we had RJ as a werewolf back in Jungle Fury, sort of. It was a variation on the werewolf.
From Papa's crazy delicious family to yours.
For some reason, he couldn't hurt
Crave those crazy squares.
Yes. They were friends.
What, and he wasn't friends with the Rangers?
Maybe the Rangers? I don't remember. I think they may have fought briefly, but the Rangers, he also knows to handle themselves. Whereas Fran was a civilian. Here's the thing. There's a different, generally speaking, with the whole "I know you're in there somewhere" fight trope. There is a difference between characters fighting someone who they know that they can take out, versus who they know can handle it, versus someone who they know they're actually going to hurt if they keep fighting. Like,
they have a greater impetus to fight it.
Yeah. Like, when someone is demorphed and about to take a claw to the face, you know that person...
She doesn't morph.
Yeah, if you have, someone who has no powers, who's about to take a claw to the face, you know that if you make that hit, you are going to hurt that person. And you may, hurt them pretty bad.
Really?
But Rangers, that they can recover from most basic attacks.
What?
Greedy Granny.
I'm sorry, so you try and take the cookies out of her tray, but if you wake her up, her teeth fly out.
Yeah.
Her teeth fly out.
Yep.
Metro Plaza?
Oh no, that's where Chaz is.
Yep.
She might be in danger. Let's go.
Well, along with probably a bunch of other people as well.
Yeah, I don't know why that's...
Almost ready? Make sure those burgers
This is going to be awkward.
irresistible.
I don't feel so good.
You've got to power through it, Victor. This is your big chance to get famous.
Now remember, Victor, hold up the burger, say your line, take a bite. Got it?
Got it. Right on set.
So...
Camera rolling.
He's gonna vomit.
No, he's not gonna... No, he's not. He's gonna turn into a werewolf in the middle of the commercial.
Feed the flame. Still rolling. Go again. Feed the flames of hunger.
It can make
Yeah,
it a
he's
really
snarling.
really good commercial, though.
Feed the flames of hunger.
If he manages to,
Yeah, there
get
he
the
goes.
line out.
Chili burger.
I'd say that's a solid
Nope,
commercial.
he got through the line.
Yeah.
Who changed the script?
That's a good
Lady,
question.
that's not a practical effect. That's a werewolf.
I also wonder if those are real burgers.
Usually for commercials, they're not.
Where's everyone?
They do things to make the food look more appetizing,
Hey.
but it actually tastes worse because they
How many werewolves
brush
were
on
in it?
glycerin to make it shiny and wet looking, but really doesn't taste good, and weird things like that.
Yeah, Red Wolf, you got a little mixed up there.
You missed me, Dreadwolf.
It's always their last
I'm
claw.
going to assume that you don't remember what happened when you're a werewolf is the idea right now.
You'll be torn to shreds by my wolfman.
I don't think Chaz is really going to have much of an effect
I'll
on
help Jazz.
No, I don't think
Got it.
Here we go.
Dustbin.
Okay, so what? Oh, he's going to try and
I'm sorry.
get the claw.
If I'd been at the plaza hanging out with you, you never would have been attacked.
This is true.
I just need to pull out Dreadwolf's claw. Calm down, buddy.
Maybe if you had another ranger help you out here, it would probably work better.
Double team.
Hearing that
Oh.
song always comes
Oh,
me
he's
down.
gonna do his song
When
to
stuff
come.
goes wrong at school, that song just got me.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I would sail across the ocean.
This is very silly. Although I will admit, I do like they at least come up with different songs for him to sing each time that he does a song.
Yeah, a lot of the times when you have the cliched pop star in your children's television show, they just have the one song.
Yeah,
And they
exactly.
sing it over and over and over again in a sort of
What's happening?
Robin Sparkles
The
kind
last
of
thing I
way.
remember
Yeah.
was feeling
Oh, Robin
sick.
Sparkles had 3 different
All
songs.
a blur.
Yeah, but let's go to the mall.
Yeah.
It's all good,
There a
partner.
lot before
Listen,
they decided
Chaz.
to do. Well, there's 2
I
beavers.
wanna
What's
say-
the third one?
We'll talk soon, okay? I promise.
I forget what it was. I'm pretty sure there was like a
We just saw a new vision in the prison.
there was like a
It's at the Gold Ring.
oh, there we go.
In a lion. armor.
Nice.
Maybe the armor will work for
I-
you now.
I feel like
Cool.
that's kind
No!
of a cheap
Maybe
way
I can use it
to.
to help the others defeat
What's up?
Try watching SpongeBob.
No, I don't want to watch
Ninja
this.
spin.
That's not good.
Dreadwolf suit for a surprise. Check out our claw shred.
Why are you doing that? That's a really weird attack.
What's he doing to your girlfriend, dude?
Yep. What? Oof. Oof. Yeah, he's a bit of a strong one, I guess.
There, Brody. I have an idea that Dreadwolf won't see coming. Throw me your Lion Fire armor star. Really?
Yeah, really.
Why weren't you using it?
Here it comes.
Begs the question, doesn't it? Well, it doesn't beg the question, it was begging the question.
Lion Fire armor star. Lock in.
The
There we go.
colloquial reading. It inspires me.
Lion Fire gold. Levi can use the armor too?
I feel like this is something of an inorganic way of handling this, but I'm gonna roll with it because it's still kind of cool that Levi's getting the
Well, it was Deus Ex Crystal Vision right there. That's
Yeah, the prism just kind
Oh,
of
cool. Anthony Davis had dinner with Gold Ranger at PMC.
nice.
Do you mean this Gold Ranger or like?
Yeah, there have been quite a few. I'm going to assume this one is irrelevant at the moment.
Yeah, this one. I was thinking Austin St. John.
Yeah, but he was only there on Thursday, and there have been other Gold Rangers as well.
Yeah, there have.
Lion Fire Rapid Blast. Lion Fire
Nice.
armor star. Lock in. Ninja spin. Double flames.
I do like that the armor can be used by people other than Brody.
Claw my way back from this.
No, you won't. You will get big, and then you will get defeated a second time. But I do not think you will quote unquote claw your
To
way
check
back.
again.
Anybody else wondering how it is that that spaceship has been up there that long? None of the world governments have noticed it. Doesn't appear to be using any kind of cloaking technology.
I mean, regardless of if they notice it, I mean, this sort of stuff happens all the time. They just don't do anything about it. Like,
You'd think someone would try and open negotiations, be like, hello, aliens.
nobody.
Is there something we can give you to get you to stop sending monsters down to the planet?
I think after that first base on the moon was established as being sort of a no-go spot, they just kind of went with no.
Okay, Levi,
Yeah.
let's turn this overgrown hairball into dog food. I thought you'd never ask, bro.
Hey,
Time to take down the big bad wolf. Begin final attack. Ninja spin.
it is pretty cool to see Levi in the armor. I'm hoping that we get to see other Rangers use the armor as well.
Energize.
There we go.
Maybe the world governments are fans of the show.
That's what you get
What's
for
that?
messing with my
Oh, maybe they're fans of Galaxy Warriors. I'm not entirely sure why you had to jump on the Ultra Sword for that, but it was okay.
Weston's there. Yeah, right. You're dreaming, Chaz.
I don't
What?
like where this Aesop is going because he's actually going to show up and it's going to be like, oh, you should believe people when they tell tall tales about seeing famous people.
Yeah, sure.
But frankly,
Wait, I'm gonna see how they wrap this up.
I just wanted to apologize for what I said at school. I shouldn't have snapped at you like that. It's really not me.
Don't worry about it. I know it can be a bit much sometimes.
I'm proud to have you as a fan. And as a friend.
Oh, don't do that.
You mean it?
Sure do.
This is
Come on, buddy.
Broken ice up again.
This is gonna set unrealistic expectations for people at Power Morphicon in the future, I think.
You don't like Billy. I know so-and-so to get friends. You don't. Even if you do know so-and-so. Like, that's the thing, is that he's not only doing that, but he's also, like, he's not only coming on too strong, but he's also basically bragging to his friends about knowing him in order to get friends. He's not, like, you don't do that.
So now that the monster's destroyed, is Victor okay, or... Oh, no, Monty figured out how to turn back. So, wow, that was a spell that outlived the monster.
The fur, it's gone!
Fur?
How did you
What
know?
happened to me?
Oh, he has no recollection.
You turned into a werewolf, Victor. It was terrible. But don't worry, you'll never be a wolf
I
again.
do like Matthew
Victor! Oh, I've been looking at
Oh, she loved the commercial. And now
I
they
need
can't
for
do
you
the
to do
same.
that again.
Perfect news. We want to take the commercials worldwide, and we want to offer you $1 million.
$1 million?
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I'll do it.
Just one thing. We want you as the wolf, so you'll have to grow all that hair back.
What?
Oh, yeah, and the claw dissolves.
He can't.
Well, then just lay down
Well, then,
makeup.
no deal.
Okay.
Right, because you can do that with makeup. Okay.
That was silly.
I appreciate you being a fan, but I cannot be friends with all of my fans. Would have been a much better message. Yes,
Yeah.
Sky Orange. Yes, it would have.
Yeah, that was a really bit of an odd message, considering that I would expect that.
So wait, that wasn't evil.
No, that must be
We still
from a
have
different
another
episode.
evil mix situation.
Yeah.
It's just like, you can be friendly with someone that you're a fan of, but that doesn't mean you're friends.
Yeah.
It's like, you can... I think the best you can really hope for is friendly acquaintance, where if you see them and go, hi, they say hi.
Yeah, I'd say I'm on, Chaz terms with plenty of people who I've met at Power Morphicon, but I wouldn't say that,
The level Chaz is actually on, not the level he thinks he's on.
Yeah, that was strange. Also, I'm trying to understand, are those people all at the same school as them,
Yeah, I mean,
or
if
not?
they go to the same school, then I don't see why it would be so...
Such a big deal.
Yeah.
You see him every day. In which case, okay, so does Chaz go to their school or not? In which case, if he does go to their school, why did it take a year for him to introduce himself? And if he doesn't go to his school...
What was he doing there during shop class?
Yeah. Or did he transfer to that school to meet Levi?
And then he was talking about it to all his friends from his old school?
I have questions on that.
Something is logistically incorrect here.
That feels a little weird. Yeah, it's a little strange.
He wouldn't. That's the whole point.
Database had different ranger powers instead of the phantom
Like, if
ranger
you had to
powers.
pick a
What
different
would he
ranger
have?
than to be the Phantom Ranger, what would be your
I don't-
fallback position?
I don't know. I haven't given that much thought, I'll admit.
Well, this is because you wrote him to be the Phantom Ranger.
Yeah. If I had, a different option or something, I might go with something like the White Dino Thunder Ranger was pretty cool. Partially because I always used to like drawing, and he can draw his attacks, and he's also just really powerful.
Yeah, he's got that Okami thing going on.
Yeah. But as far as database, I'm really not sure. Off the top of my head,
Ninja!
who else database would be. But yeah, as far as this episode goes, not as strong as as last week, and I'd say this
Database needs a master morphin.
that would be pretty cool. This episode, I feel like we kind of have slipped back down to
Yeah, it was
a bit more of
last
a kind of normal
So
Ninja
the
Steel
thing-
episode.
so
It wasn't
the
like really. We're falling again into the moral has unfortunate implications, because
They
you know,
broke their own Aesop again.
it's really strange to me that they wrote a moral like that, considering that at this point Power Morphicon is such a known quantity for the show.
That there are probably plenty of Power Rangers fans who
They've interacted with and who
may feel themselves to be in a Caleb position, but, you know, the thing of it is that none of us are.
Chaz.
Chaz position. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was just
there's a
reading
Caleb in the chat.
in the chat, yes, because the thing was, someone was saying that a couple of people
Yeah.
were saying you'd think more people would be trying to talk to him on a daily basis. I think probably what's happened there is, aside from Chaz, who is being weird,
Yeah.
most of the students have kind of gotten used to it, and they just treat him like a normal person.
Yeah, but it was still very strange that nobody had that reaction back when he first
Back when
started.
he first started
going
there, I
to
would
that
expect
school.
it, but he's been there long enough for
Yeah,
now
it's
that I
been
would
a year
just be
now.
like, meh. I mean, maybe it's just because we're New Yorkers.
I guess we get used to anything.
Well, no, I mean, they say, like, for example, celebrities, when they go to L.A. versus celebrities when they spend time in New York City,
Yeah.
when they're in L.A., a lot of people are like, ooh, 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 famous person.
Yeah.
And when they go to New York, people are like, oh, yeah, it's a famous person. Where's my pizza?
It depends on.
I'm talking about the city, Manhattan.
I know, but even so, I think that.
You can get away with putting on a...
I think the reaction that you're referring to, though, is sort of mostly a tourist reaction, and tourists are going to act that way regardless of if they're in LA or New York.
This is true.
But, and honestly, in LA, a lot of people who live there are sort of in the industry. So it's not going to be...
Well, that's another reason that they probably approach them more, because they're trying to get an agent.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas in New York City, you know, there are tourist areas, but there are also lots of areas where tourists just don't go, because it's just not that interesting. So if you want to go down the street to your local bodega or whatever,
I suppose,
you're just not going to have quite as much of an issue, especially, like I said, if you're just walking around in a suit. This is the other thing. Everybody in New York kind of looks down. So if you're just walking around in, like, regular clothes and a baseball cap, half of the people on the street aren't even going to notice.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, apart from all that, the bigger issue here is we were
Setting
showing
unrealistic expectations.
Inappropriate fan behavior, and
it was rewarded.
And it was rewarded with the type of behavior that really you shouldn't expect to see from a celebrity.
No.
You shouldn't expect to be able to sort of force your way into being a friend with a celebrity. You should become a friend with somebody because you naturally hit it off. You actually have things you want to talk about and have, things you want to do together.
Yeah.
And that can absolutely happen with a celebrity. You start chatting with somebody, maybe you do chat with them at the convention, and I'm sure they hear a bunch of things a million times over, but you bring up something that they don't hear often and they're genuinely interested in, that can spark a conversation.
But the thing of it is that sort of thing happens naturally.
Yeah.
If you try to force the matter, it's never going to work.
You are never entitled to their time, and I think that was really the problem here with this episode, is that it played it as if Chaz was entitled to be...
Yeah, because it was painting...
to be his friend.
Him as the bad guy. It was painting,
Levi
as misbehaving in some way by neglecting his fan. That's not how it works.
Now, was Levi somewhat callous? Eventually, yes. At the beginning, he was mostly just sort of thrown off, and he was trying to be polite. And he did come down on Chaz maybe a little too hard.
I like Renault's team.
Oh, is that? Setting up each character of DRPR as different as a different Ranger character. Oh, that's fun.
Oh, and yeah, Anthony's like, yeah, he met Jordy at the con because he sat down to eat at the same table.
Okay.
They just chatted, you know.
No, that's super nice.
And nobody there did a Chaz, and that's really how you got to be.
Just
don't do a Chaz.
Talk to them like you would any person who you have just met. Don't, expect that you are entitled to their time and attention beyond, the standard transaction of, okay, they are there to interact with fans if you're at a convention, so yes, they are going to be cordial. They are also going to have a lot of other people they're going to want to talk to. So it's going to be on them, not on you,
to determine how much
if there's going to be more of
that they will interact with you and when they need to move on to the next person.
Yeah. This, really, respecting people's boundaries.
Yes.
As
Mr.
Al-Man.
AI Man.
No, he did say it's Al-Man.
Oh.
8. Yeah. But yeah, the important thing is understanding how to respect people's boundaries. Chaz was not respecting Levi's boundaries
at all.
And he ultimately was rewarded for that.
Because, again, the episode actually framed it in such a way that it was almost trying to imply that Levi's boundaries were inherently invalid. And I don't like that.
Yeah, that was not a good lesson to be coming from there.
Alman, sorry, okay.
Yeah. It's... So that aspect of the episode made me uncomfortable. And it's especially strange that this one had so much trouble handling the people's boundaries issues when the last episode actually handled that really, really well.
Yeah, and again, I keep coming back to the thing where not only is he crossing his boundaries and trying to get in chummy with him way more artificially than should happen. Look, if you don't hit it off, you don't hit it off.
Yeah.
But also, a lot of times, yes, if a person has an interaction with someone, or even if a person knows someone, for them to, like, even if he was friends with Levi, and he told all his friends, all these people that he could introduce them to Levi, as a means of gaining friends, that, even if he was friends with Levi, would also be very wrong.
I'm not quite sure of the correct...
Using Levi as a prop to get friends.
Yeah, and you
he's committing someone else's time without asking them.
That's another big thing. Like, if you want to... If Chaz really wanted to be friends with Levi, if he really was trying to be friends with Levi...
I don't think he wants to be
He
friends
wasn't
with
treating
Levi.
him like a friend. He was treating him like someone who... he was entitled to to have his time.
Yeah, he wasn't treating him at all like a friend. He was...
a friend doesn't say, "Oh, you're going to go to this thing because I told my other friends you were going to be there." It's, "Hey, my friends and I are going to be doing this. Would you like to join us?" You ask if a friend wants to go with you.
You say, "Okay." Well, they don't need to stop at the morals because that's always been a Power Rangers thing. But they do need to stop breaking.
Yeah, I like when Power Rangers does morals of the day. I do. I think that it is important as a kids' TV show for them to be setting good examples for children to follow and for the kids to be learning from the show. I think that has value, and I think that's something that the show really did very well with back in the early days.
Yeah.
And one of the ways they did that was often through having a surrogate learn the lesson, not the main character. Having the main character impart the lesson onto, a kid of the day or
Anthony Davis also points out that it was a similar problem with the Halloween episode where they made him out to be a jerk because he didn't want to play a board game.
Yeah. There was a little bit more value to that one in that it is, the idea of you...
Sometimes you go along to get along when it's your friends.
Yeah. If you're friends with somebody, and they show an interest in what you do, you should show an interest in what they do.
Exactly.
Reciprocity is important.
Power Rangers with my husband.
Yes.
Also,
And I'm gonna cook dinner later.
Dire No, when is DRPR 86? We'll revisit that when DRPR 85 stops getting taken down.
Yes. I will make announcements once 86 is closer to completion and once the issues with 85 have obviously been resolved first.
Yes, first we have to get 85 to stay on the channel.
Yeah.
Then we could look into 86.
Speaking of which, I'm going to do a quick check over here and see if any of my... And how many countries are we blocked in this time? Yeah, I was doing another upload while we were doing this live reaction. And
Are you serious?
yeah, I'm constantly doing either exports or uploads. Yep, still 246 countries. Okay, and it's that same clip didn't work. Okay, so I need to do more editing on that clip. That's annoying. I'm working at it, guys. I'm gonna get 85 out. I don't know what I need to do. But I'm gonna get it out there. So that you guys can all watch it and enjoy it, and then I'm gonna get 86 out, so that can be watched and enjoyed. Once it's done, there's still plenty of filming left to be done for 86. Uploading it to Google Drive, that could be a last resort. I really do want to, have it available in the same way that all the other episodes are. So we'll see what we can do. But yeah, among other things with this episode, we had the whole Victor and Monty storyline, which was okay for what it was. I don't think it was as good as their last two, which I felt were a little bit better integrated into the story being told. In this one, they just sort of they were affected by the Rangers storyline, but they didn't affect the storyline of the Rangers at all. And they sort of were thematically kind of separated from it. I think it really came down to, we have a werewolf in this episode, we should make Victor a werewolf because that's funny. And that's fine. It just wasn't as tight a thematic integration as last week, where Victor was basically acting as a direct parallel to Preston asking out Sandy. Victor was trying to get his date, and we were seeing the difference between approaching things healthily and approaching things unhealthily. In that case, Victor thought because he was paying money, he was entitled to a person's time. Because he was buying all these gifts. Now, that person wasn't being very nice because they somehow drew the balloons as the line in the sand. But even so, it was based off a bad faith situation anyway.
I think she was going to find a way to weasel out of it anyway.
Yeah, I think that was the idea. But with this one, Victor wanting to be famous, I guess, could be said to, be a juxtaposition, sort of a counterpoint to Levi dealing with his fame, but I don't think it was dealt with well. No, Patricia Jolie is not going to be in DRPR 86.
We don't have that kind of connection.
Well, to be fair, we have gotten cameo appearances in the live PMC episode.
Yes.
However, Patricia Jolie has not been at Power Morphicon, or at least has not been at any Power Morphicon since we started doing DRPR. I don't think she's been at any to date that I can remember. But no, she will not be outside of possibly utilizing some archive footage, from old episodes. No, I did not get the actual actress. So I'm sorry if that spoils a bit of the cliffhanger. I can say that at the very least, the character of Cassie will be important to the next episode. I'm not. I'll be doing a trailer later announcing exactly which episode we'll be reviewing. But it is going to be a big one. Now, I'm trying to think on other things with this. Also, in terms of another issue with this episode was just the inorganic introduction of the gold line fire armor.
Deus Ex Crystalla.
It was just one of those things where, oh, the crystal says we can do this, so let's do this.
Will Ask TV ever return?
And I don't know if SDB is going to make its way back. If I get into a good groove with power reviews again, to the point where I feel like I can be working on supplementary videos like that, I would like to do.
But we don't want to do anything to slow down the actual DRPR videos. They're coming out slowly enough as it is.
Yeah, maybe once I finally finish all my scripts for DRPR, then maybe we might see, other scripted videos like AskDB come back again. Because I did enjoy doing AskDB back when I was in a good role with writing things each week. But narratively, the show has just gotten far more complex, and it takes a lot more planning per episode rather than, okay, we're sitting and reviewing an episode with a few little pieces of foreshadowing and a little bit of tweaks to the premise of this episode, but we're not having to parallel direct events and move forward multiple plot points, which is what is happening now with the whole with writing power reviews. Ask TV. The whole how the Prism keeps giving them answers. That does seem like an Ask DB kind of question.
It does, doesn't it?
I mean, I get the Prism apparently has it from what I gather of the Prism, it does appear that it's mostly it has self-knowledge of what it's capable of doing, as well as some level of clairvoyance on what will be important for their coming battles. Those seem to be the only two real effects of the Prism foresight. But yeah, I know with the Sentai version, yeah, apparently there were a few added layers of context to the conflict with the werewolf. Apparently Levi's counterpart's family was taken out by that werewolf monster, and apparently he was actually a werewolf for a little bit. So that's interesting. But I can understand them bypassing that, keeping things a little bit more family friendly. And I do think that him interacting with the werewolf fan was more interesting than it would have been with him being a werewolf. Because this was about his relationship with a rabid fan. And so I felt like that actually was a pretty good parallel in that regard. I wish that they had taken things a little bit less. I wish they had put less of the moral on Levi and more of the moral on the fan. I feel like that actually usually works a little bit better when it's a third party learning a lesson from the Rangers.
Yeah.
I liked in, I actually liked the episode of Jungle Fury where they had the little kid at Casey's dojo, even though Casey only had a dojo for like a day. But I like that he was teaching that kid
a lot
confidence.
in Power Rangers, where people just randomly have a dojo, or they've randomly been to a dojo. Somewhere out there's got to be a company that's like, rent a dojo for a day.
Yeah.
And they must make a lot of money off of Power Rangers and former Power Rangers.
But and all the kids in MMPR who learn lessons, or that one character Jordan in Megaforce, who pretended to be a Power Ranger and learned that it was wrong to do so.
Or Boob.
or Boom. He
Who
learned
pretended to
lessons.
be a Power Ranger.
He pretended to be a Power Ranger and learned it was wrong to do so. This should have been basically a way to inform fan etiquette. I think would have been a better way to handle this episode.
Would have been.
This is how you should conduct yourself when you meet your heroes. Here's the wrong way to do it. Here's the right way to do it. And throughout all that, you can have Levi being his very patient self. He's had tons of fans. This should be old hat to him.
Yeah.
And as far as spelling Marisa, it is Marisa. So have a good one, Mr. Megazord. Oh yeah, and then
Good night, Mr. Megazord.
I remember in Dino Thunder, one of the first actual standalone episodes after the sort of intro arc, bringing in Tommy as the Black Ranger, etc., was Diva in Distress, when Kira was reminding her friend who had gotten very famous what was important in life. So using that third party as a means of conveying a lesson to the third party, and basically using that person as a surrogate for the audience, I think is usually a smarter way of handling the morals of the day. So I'm a little disappointed that they didn't handle things that way. So there were some fun things in this episode. Everybody who played a werewolf really hammed it up. There were some interesting concepts with the quote-unquote rabid fan, and getting to see some cool battles with Lion, Fire, Gold. Those and the little shout out of Mick being a cross between a troll and a yeti was very clever. I just wish that they had looked deeper into the implications of the lesson they were conveying. They're trying to use the Rangers as... They try to use Levi as the example that kids should follow for how to deal with somebody who's trying to be your friend. And I feel like they, one, mishandled that, and two...
Badly.
It was made worse by the fact that they did that while not taking into account the context of a celebrity interacting with a fan. Like, his conversation, I'm not your friend, we barely know each other. That is a good conversation to have. It's a little harsh, but it was presented, instead of being a good conversation, being Levi stepping over a line. Just like, the Levi having to run off before Chaz could give him his email was treated as Levi being, dismissive of somebody trying to be his friend, whereas it could have been, the friend, the fan not being conscientious of another person's time. And it's all in the framing. Even if you just look at the words being spoken, it's fine. But then you look at the framing, it lingers on Chaz at the end, so it's like, okay, this is the person we're sympathizing with. So, it's unfortunate because there were some really good ideas, I think, in this episode, and there were some fun performances and some fun action, but they just kind of missed the ball and they zigged when they should have zagged on the lesson. And I know I've probably harped on that long enough.
Probably. It's past 6, so I'm starting to get messages again.
Oh, okay. So in that case, we should wrap things up, because, it's been about an hour. It's been great chatting with you guys again. I appreciate that you guys continue to show up. And invite your friends. Bring in more people. More the merrier. I'm enjoying this aspect of the live reactions. I like making them more interactive, and I hope that you guys watching at home who weren't able to make it to the chat are enjoying that as well. And if there are things that we could do to make this work better, aw, that's sweet. if there are things we can do to make this work better for you guys, like in terms of, you know, timing or notifications, let us know and we'll try and maybe do it a little bit more at a regulated time. Also, as far as which video you prefer, because I know I'm posting both, whether you want me to post a live stream exclusively or the camera shot version exclusively, if you like having both, let us know that info. So I think that kind of wraps things up, and I'm sorry I don't have time for any more DV questions, but feel free to like keep posting them or share or comments, Twitter, what have you, and I'll try and come up with answers if I can. But until next time, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. Have a good one, guys. Thanks again. I'm gonna make some dinner.